Welcome to Hobbyution, episode 409. We've got Andrew and Jenny in the chat. Good. Yeah, Andrew says not one to blame the refs, but man, they didn't do the Bears any favors last night. So, confession, I did not watch the Bears game last night. I had planned on it. Tired. I ended up. I'll talk more about my day, but I ended up falling asleep on the couch at 8 p.m. So I was up at 4 a.m. This is the last cup in the pot of coffee I brewed this morning. So 7 a.m. I'm already a pot of coffee in. So I was exhausted. It was 7:57 and I felt myself dozing off. And about 9:15, I was like, it was one of those times where you're laying on the couch and you just don't have the energy to keep your eyes open. So it was like 9:15. I'm like, I'm going to bed. And I read a book for, I don't know, 10 minutes, and I was probably 10 o'clock. I went to fell asleep for good in the bed. But yeah, 4 a.m. I was wide awake, and I'm like, well, might as well get up, start the day. What's up, Zach? Good morning. So I did. So that's probably what made me stake at 4 a.m. was I saw the highlight of the penalty on the Bears and the referee Tony Correnti and all that. Oh, that's brutal. And in a close game like that, Bears lose. And it's not even what's even worse is like normally you can say like normally, and we're used to this as Bears fans, well, at least it gives us a better draft pick. No, it gives another team a better draft pick. I don't know which team has, probably the Raiders. But we don't have the Bears don't have a first round draft pick this year, or 2022. So even though they're losing all these games, it's not improving their draft stock because there's no draft pick for them. So that's what makes it even worse. Usually it's like, well, okay, better draft pick. Not the case. So yeah, that's unfortunate. On the bright side, today college basketball begins. In fact, I was I was in the checkout aisle Sunday. I went grocery shopping and I'm in line at the store and they put those magazines there on the end cap. They had an Athlon college basketball preview magazine, which used to be dating to the early 90s. I still remember my first one. I still have it. I think it's in a box in my basement. It's just it's that nostalgic for me. My first one was Dick Vitale's college basketball from 92 or 93. So I still buy them, and I worked in college athletics and covered Division I college basketball for 3 years. So I was always I would get some guff from some of the football coaches because I'd be reading college basketball magazine. I did all my homework. So the bus ride, I would read the preview magazine, and it's like week 4 of the football season. But I was a much bigger fan of basketball than football. So I was reading some of the college preview magazine. Today it begins. I think some of the games start at like 2:30 Central Time. So I'm excited about that. I think we have dinner plans with friends tonight. Check my calendar. But yeah, I know Wisconsin plays at home tonight. The Illini play. My Western Illinois Leathernecks played Nebraska. Yes, we do have dinner plans tonight. So, the Harvey House, which is in like a train car. So I'm actually excited to check that place out. So yeah, I'm stoked that college basketball season is beginning. Zach says Bulls won, Bears lost, but Fields continues to improve it each week. Win in my book, fire management, get that kid a coach, right? I saw a stat that I was shocked because it's like fire Nagy. I did not like Matt Nagy from his opening press conference before he even coached a game. I did not like him. He seems like a meatball, and I think he's kind of proven that over his coaching tenure. I did not like him from the opening press conference. I think he's a terrible coach. And the stat that I saw was the Chicago Bears franchise has never fired a head coach mid-season. Dating back to 1920, 100 years, and there's been some doozies in those 100 years. talking head coaches. None have been fired mid-season. So the article's like, don't expect Matt Nagy to be fired mid-season. It's never happened before in the history of the franchise. But yeah, I think top down, as far as management goes, from uh, Ryan Pace down to the coaching staff. Um, the players, they just, I mean, they've been put in a difficult situation with the general management of the team. But there's some talent on the team. But yeah, it's time to clean house up top. He is the true definition of a peckerhead, pretentious, no effect, never in a season. Yeah, I'm not a Nagy fan, not one bit. Um, so so yesterday that was my night. My night ended shortly, falling asleep on the couch at 8 p.m. But yesterday was pretty productive. Did I did a lot of sorting because I added so many new cards to the eBay store last week that I just had a lot of disorganization going on. So I really needed to nip that as I shipped more. So I spent some of the morning sorting my eBay store inventory and then doing a lot of shipping. We had cleaners come in the afternoon, so I decided to just kind of duck out and go thrifting. So went to the ran to the post office, and then I hit up the one of the thrift shops that I haven't. Usually, I go to a couple. There's a couple Goodwill shops that I'll visit, but there's a different thrift shop. It's not good. It's Saint Vincent de Paul or something. Um, and it's more Goodwill's just kind of like everything's in disarray, which I kind of like that. It's like a treasure hunt. Um, but St. Vincent's is a little more organized. Didn't find anything. There was no, there's never any baseball cards when I go thrifting. Um, but I shopped around for like books. I picked up a true crime book just to something to read. So I spent $2 on a book, and about it. Then to just down the street, there's an antique mall essentially, and I'd never been there, and I'm like, well, I've got some time before the cleaners are. I'm just going to check out the antique shop. It's a big one. Pretty cool. A lot of like vintage stuff, and it's all priced accordingly. One thing, there was a lot of sports memorabilia, not a lot, but there was a decent selection of sports memorabilia, mostly books and magazines. And I saw one thing where it's like uh, low price, now this price, it's going on eBay, and I'm like, okay, everything's going to be comp to eBay. Not going to find any good deals here. There was the only baseball cards. Well, there was some like random junk cards. Um, there was one that had, he's actually a vendor at my card show. He's got some really cool stuff, a Babe Ruth Churchman, an old Pele card, some Beatles cards, some really cool stuff. But didn't pick anything up there, and then came home and did and I listed 120 cards last night before I fell asleep on the couch. So I got 120 football cards listed, about 12 sold overnight. So I was happy with the results. And what's really cool, and I think I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, a lot of those I pulled out of the quarter box. And I'm going to talk more about like my inventory and my strategy on selling quarter cards. I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But these were all cards I pulled out of my 25-cent box, a stale quarter box. What's up, Ryan? Good morning to you. Ken, yo, I'm actually here while you're live. Yeah, I was just talking about my thrifting experience. I did not find any deals. I know Ken's been having success with shirts. I didn't even look. And in fact, I was like just looking for like toys and sports stuff, cards and stuff like that. So yeah, so I went to actually one thrift store and then one antique mall. Um, 6 trades to pull cards for and mail off, slowly working away at moving 3,000 cards per month. That's awesome. So today I want to talk about eBay, which I talk about eBay like every day. But I know a lot of people are interested, and this is weird. It says my mom wants to send me a message, but like it's from a spam. So this is Oh, I think my mom's been hacked. That's weird. Um, so we'll talk eBay. I saw in the reason I'm talking about this today is I saw a oh shoot, and I took it out. The reason is this morning I saw a tweet. And I actually looked at the sold listings, and it's actually it's quite bizarre. So Fielder Cards on Twitter said, "What's going on with modern basketball cards?" He sold a 2018, or actually, it looks like maybe this isn't his card, but I pay close attention to the cards I own, like the Luka Doncic 2018 Prism Green PSA 9 rookie. It sold for $925 5 weeks ago. Steady decline since. Sold at auction for $510 last night. So I did look, and he showed screenshots. So I'm like, I'm interested in, and I hate auctions, and I've mentioned that before, and I'll tell you why. But I just want to go into uh Howard says, I was going to talk about this in the morning since I comment. I did not even see your comment, although I'm not following this account. Um, oh, yeah, there isn't just one reason, but multiple. People spending money elsewhere now that they have freedom, hyper coasters, shills, pump and dumps. Investors made their nut and start jumping ship. Yeah. So I have a different um so I looked at the end time, and what's really bizarre, what I found really stuck out to me on this particular car 9 green prism plus shipping. And so I'm thinking, well, I wonder what the end time was on the auction. It ended at a Monday night, 9:12 p.m., which I think Monday night auctions, Monday night, typically, I don't like doing auctions. I like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think Sunday, everybody says that's the best time. But guess what? That's when everybody else is so ending their auction. So there's a ton of competition. So that's why I like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think why I don't like Monday is a lot of people are active on Sunday night with eBay. And then Monday's just kind of the I'm gonna rest now. And then get back after it on Tuesday. That previous, and this was a trend here with this card in this grade from PSA. And every time my connection is unlocking the Wi-Fi, I must be. Is there like a Wi-Fi sensor down here? So a week ago, Monday night, auction ending at 10 p.m. on a Monday, $678. So $683 shipped. And then the one prior to that was also a Monday, right? Yes. And this one ended at 11 p.m. So they all end between 9 and 11 on Monday nights. I looked at the serial numbers. They're all different cards. This one ended 751 shipped. And all of them have 495. Oh, that was 499. Okay. So, and then we go to October 18th. And October 18th, guess what? It was also a Monday. These are the only ones. They're all ending on Monday nights. Same exact, not the same exact card, but the same, PSA 9 Doncic Green Prism. $890 plus $4. So $894 shipping. Then we go to September 30th, which was actually a Thursday. And that was $925. It ended um, it ended at 6:42 p.m. Jenny says, and here on Monday night, you were sleeping at 8 p.m. Yeah, I was sleeping when this auction ended. So I found this interesting, and that has $40 shipping. It must be an international. That must be an international card. So so yeah, so Fielder Cards is correct. There's a steady decline, but I hate, and this is just a really bizarre, like, this really stuck out to me. And his tweet was, da, 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 Actually, he didn't really have a thought. He just said, "What's going on with ultra modern basketball cards?" Um, this is why I don't like auctions. Like, what's your comp? And going back a month, that's pretty fair, because basketball season was just starting. You may have an and George mentioned it in the comments. Da, 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 maybe maybe hype is a roller coaster. And yeah, so has Luca had down season? Then my arms again and my connection is unstable. I don't know what's going on with that. Just have to like I'm gonna have to put like a yellow line. Don't cross this line or your connection goes unstable. Um, so yeah, so there's ebbs and flows. Like we're now in season. So there's that preseason hype. And I think that in this particular instance, we're gonna go down to the micro level because now we're just dissecting the Luca Green Prism PSA 9, where it was higher a month ago because there was that early season preseason hype. Now we're a couple weeks into the season, and I don't know, is Luca he's not torching like he could be. I don't know. I comment if I'm still on. It says my connection is unstable. We're trying to reconnect. So let me know if I'm still going. I'm going to keep talking like I am going. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. So in this micro instance, I think that has something to do with why the prices are so crazy. Some people say with no commenting, so I think I'm off. I don't know what's going on. So that says I'm on. Okay. So some people say, well, auctions give you what's up, Mike? Good morning. Some opinions are that auctions give you the best comp. You're on, but it's rough. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I do. My Wi-Fi sucks. Um, some people say that auctions are the best barometer, the best way to what's up, David? Good morning. Are the best way to see comps. I say pooey on that because just like results can be skewed based on actually didn't sell for X amount, or you can't accurately what the best offer was. Um, the same can be said with auctions. Shill bidding, huge. I mean, look at one of the big time off eBay for alleged shill bidding, PWCC. So auctions can be more manipulated, in my opinion, than buy it now listings. I never use eBay auctions. Obviously, I'm big on eBay, and I love the buy it now. I used to be auction, and and I think I brought up a comp yesterday or over the weekend on just a card that was like it was the better comp was actually at the worst of the two times. So it's like, well, usually, I say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights are the best time to end an auction, but a poor comp came in at like Monday night, but a better comp sold it Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, which is a terrible time usually. But I think auctions are as or more manipulated than buy it now. Um, I've had several things where they've sold it like vintage cards that would sell at auction for $3, and I could have put them on $10, buy it now, and it would have sold in a day or 2 days, and not take up the 7 days of an eBay auction. There are different. Sometimes you get in a bidding war. What I found in my experience, and I've been doing listings on eBay since 1998, is that in a lot has changed. I mean, obviously things have gone from auction based to now more buy it now based on eBay. But I love auctions as a buyer. I hate auctions as a seller. That tells you everything right there. I can get deals as a buyer at auction. Buy it now. You may not find those deals because people, if the deals do come up on buy it now, they're going to be gobbled up right away because people have them in saved searches or whatnot. Ken, that is how you describe as wrestling talk. I like auctions for cards that don't move. Buy it now. I hate sitting on cards waiting. I'm going to go into that world at war for Life One. What is up? Hey man, NYY collector. Hope you're doing well. You also hope that Yankees collection is going great for you. Um, I'm going to go back to Jenny's comment about auctions for cards that don't move. If I have cards that are sitting, especially if it's, say we're in baseball season and it's in a first Bowman of a guy who's doing well, and I've got it at X price, like it hasn't sold for a year and a half. I'm just going to send it to auction. I'm going to liquidate. I like in those instances. I'm pretty patient. So I let a lot of things sit, and all of a sudden I look back and it's like, this has been in my eBay store for a long time. I'm just going to liquidate. I'm going to put it at auction, and I don't care. It's going to roll at 99 cents. I don't like starting higher priced auctions. I like the 99-cent auctions. So I'm going to let it. Hey, if it only sells for $3, shame on me. But it's better than letting it sit in my eBay store for eternity and like it's a museum. So in those instances, yes. Sometimes on new product, I will and I hate reserves on auctions. I don't even know, is that a thing still? I don't even know. I think there's still an option, but I rarely see reserves anymore. It was big back in the early days of eBay, but now that you can, and the reason reserves were big on eBay back in the day was because there was a different fee structure on auctions. So the reason 99-cent auctions became such a huge deal was because anything under $1 was either free or like 5 cents. It was the cheapest option to list at auction. And then $1 to $5 was 10 cents or 20 cents. And then when you went above $5 or $10, it was 50 cents. And then if it was $100 or more, it was like $1 to list your item. So you could, for a tenth, even if it was a $200 card, you could list it for a lot less. So that's why a lot of people had reserves. I'm going to roll it at 99 cents, but I'm afraid it won't sell for what I want for it. I'm going to pay for the reserve. So now they have, now you can, it's a flat fee. So the same 99-cent auction fee is going to be the same as starting an item at $500. Or I think. I never start listings at $500, so maybe there is a premium on that. But I know you can start listings at like $100, and it's the same fee structure. Jenny saw a reserve the other day on a Kirby Puckett rookie. See, that's probably what I would assume. I know what assuming does, but what I would assume on something like that is it's somebody that's either super new or hasn't been on eBay in 20 years and just inexperience. I would chalk that up to inexperience. Got to go run downstairs for envelopes. Be back. My Yankees collection, not bad, around 100K, but I slowed down on the card collecting a bit because the prices of stuff. Been getting into vintage video games. Very cool. So I'll list eBay auctions on sometimes on new stuff, especially if it's like a low serial numbered card, like a 1 of 1 or an of 5. If it's on new product, because there's going to be a lot more eyeballs. First to market is big. A product like Topps Heritage Miners, I considered that, but I kind of retracted that sentiment, and I ended up just doing buy it now, and I had fairly good success. There's some of the higher dollar stuff. I've still got that first day premium on it, that release day premium. So I've got to go back in, and I've seen some watchers on. I've got like a green parallel Jordan Walker that's above what it should be. There's my golds numbered to 18. I priced them higher than what they should be just because I wanted that premium on the first to market. So I'll go back and maybe today or this week I'll take a look at lowering. Funny thing about envelopes here, when everyone was stocking up on TP, I was stocking up on card supplies and shipping supplies. I literally have boxes full of cards. That was a smart move. That was a super smart move. I actually bought I got a case of cardboard gold top loaders from a reseller for $130 for 1,000. So that's 13 cents per top loader. Great deal. So that's going to put me. I've got an account with BCW, so I can get card savers for really cheap. So I'm going to put an order in. I think the back orders into January. Since I've dragged my feet so long, it might be into February now. But I think I have enough to get me through the next 2 months. Ken says I haven't run an auction since I lost a card numbered to 10 for 99 cents. That's the thing. And with the view counts, now I read somewhere that eBay came out and had a statement about the view counts, and it's now more accurate, where they were a little inflated previously because it counted duplicate views. And so now it's more of an accurate view of views. So I don't know if that's just talk, or if there's truth behind it. It does essentially kind of make sense to me. So I guess take that for what it's worth. But there's always a but. If you're selling a card numbered to 10 and it only goes for 9 cents, that tells me that there's not a lot of eyeballs. So maybe there is something that views are down. I don't know. So that's my take on eBay auctions. And I did find, when I looked into the Luka Doncic green prism and the number, I don't know statistically what Luka's doing this season, if he's having a down year. I know overall basketball is down. I'm selling a lot of dollar rookies that probably a year, 2 years ago would have been $5 at this time. So there's not that super hype that what we saw 2 years ago. And I'll even say last year we had kind of a different in season since it started so late. But it was basketball was down, like during the height of the pandemic. Basketball was down. We didn't see those big overall, and I'm talking macro level overall sales on basketball. Not, I know there was some big sales, big cards. There's still a lot of hype, but generally speaking, I'm talking, because I'm more into the dollar cards and the $5 cards. That's bread and butter, where those sales were much lower than what we saw in 2019. I think basketball peaked pre-pandemic, whereas football and baseball peaked right in the middle of the pandemic. I think baseball cards, that was the biggest peak in sales during COVID, were in baseball card sales. And that could also, that's my opinion, that could be skewed because I'm baseball centric, and I just pay closer attention, because now I'm selling a lot more football and basketball out of my eBay store, because that's been my focus the last 2 weeks. So all of the new listings have been, for the most part, 95% football and basketball. So my thoughts on things could be a little skewed because of that. So Jenny said, I figured if you were all stuck at home, I better be ready to ship because I got bulk to trade, right? So those were my thoughts on eBay auctions. I don't think eBay auctions give you a fair look because there's so many variables that go into it. End times, that's a big key. Even though I don't think end times are as crucial as they were 15 years ago, when you had to log on to your desktop PC to get on eBay, and you were doing that Sunday night computer time. Whereas now you're on the couch, not falling asleep at 8 p.m. on a Monday night. You're scrolling through eBay. Oh, hey. But still, Tuesday morning, 3 a.m., not a good time to end an auction. Saturday morning, a.m. Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m., not particular times. Ken says, how you make end times irrelevant? Use buy it now. Exactly. And also, you're only those 7-day auctions, you're only getting a 7-day snapshot of the market. That auction, that clock comes to an end. The perfect buyer may have just missed it by a couple hours. There's been cards that I've done, I've looked for, and I just happened to look at sold, and it's like, Cap Anson, they don't come up very often. It's like, oh, this one ended way under what I would have paid for it. but I missed it by 2 days because I was just kind of casually looking. I don't have many saved searches. I don't have any right now. I deleted them. I have some items I'm watching, maybe 10, 15, but I don't have saved searches. I know some people have maxed out their saved search list. I have zero. And if I could, I would give you my extra saved searches because I don't have a use for them. Um, so that's a thought where the market's always open on a buy it now listing. The market has a short 7-day window on an auction. Also, I'm not necessarily a motivated seller. If it's a top guy, I want my price. I will wait and it eventually sells. Ken, that's exactly where I stand. I'm very patient because I have enough inventory to list. And if I do what I found, what I really like now doing buy it now is I've set up my file exchange to open to offers. And I've mentioned this where I had like 26 offers come in. They were all lowball dollar offers on, and some of them were like $1.50 cards, but some were $5 cards. And I'm not accepting a dollar offer on a $5 listing, especially when it was just listed 2 days ago. I'm gonna wait. And so I thought about just declining all of them. The same person, like 26 of them. So I'm gonna counter, and I countered every single one of them, and they bought they bought one of the 26. And I even countered the $1.50s. I went $1.25. And sometimes I usually counter everything unless it's say a $50 listing, a dollar offer. Usually, if I'm listing, actually all the time when I'm listing higher dollar cards, and when I say higher dollar, I'm going to use the cutoff at $20 and up. If I do an offer accepted, I will set like on a $20 card, automatically decline any offer under $13 or $14. If it's 50, depending on the card, it's all like every card is different. It may be 40 for one card where it's 25 for another. So I do like opening things up for offers. I don't get offended by lowball offers, but it does get annoying if there's a whole bunch of them and they are lowball offers, because then it's like now I've got to spend time they're declining or countering. Sometimes I just let them sit. Ken says, do you send the invoice when you ship? No, I do not. I think that has hurt me at times because I'll have people reach out, hey, I never got this card. And I'll go back and I say, well, it was shipped on September 13th. And they're like, oh, hey, I buy a lot. What's your username or what's your return address or whatever? And that's when they say, oh yeah, I did get it. I'll have people say it says it was shipped, but it doesn't have a delivery. Well, it was sent in a plain white envelope. There's no tracking with it. If it came, in a stamped envelope. I think not sending an invoice has hurt me at times, but over big waste of time for me due to volume. And say a couple of people claim they didn't receive it because I didn't slip an invoice and they just put it on the side, thought they didn't receive it. And it was an honest mistake on their part. I'll still refund them their $2. And maybe I'll lose out $10 per month, but I'm gaining a lot of extra time to create more listings, to create more sales in that time that I would be spent even writing an item number down. If I'm printing an invoice out, you're spending a lot of money on paper, ink. If you're writing it down, that's just an extra step. I stopped putting cardboard in envelopes because I found that the more bulky a plain white envelope is, it's more susceptible to damage, where it's going to jam up a machine if it goes through a machine. And people say, well, then the card's not protected. But I find that to be the opposite because the machines won't damage the card. And so I just ship in a top loader, on cards and bubble mailer. Now I will make sure it's bulky because you it's the opposite with bubble mailers. The bulkier they are, they won't go through a machine. But if it is a bubble mailer, it goes through a machine and gets jammed up, that's where you see a lot of the damage in bubble mailers. And I've received far more damaged items in bubble mailer than plain white envelope, and I send way more bubble or way more plain white envelopes than I do bubble mailer. So I'll ship, in a top loader, team bag, cardboard, and I'll use a lot of times how I use old bubble mailers. So this is from Tops, and I'll just, if this was a 8x10 or whatever, I'll cut it in half. I'll put, the top loader covered in cardboard, and then I'll do the old double it over, and then I'll put it in a new bubble mailer. So and that's how I know Ken mentioned that on, I think, a tweet I saw about, reusing all supplies, and that's how I use old bubble mailers. I don't reuse bubble mailers to like send again, but I use them as double protection inside a new bubble mailer. Ken says, I've already stopped on the cardboard myself within 6 weeks of selling. It's very time consuming. Like, you don't realize how time consuming it is, because you're cutting and you're trying to cut it to specify. Sometimes they're thicker pieces of cardboard, because I just grab a cardboard box wherever. Sometimes you got to like, get it in half. Sometimes it's like, I don't have a cardboard box around, so I'm trying to find an extra cardboard box to cut up. So now I only use pieces of cardboard in bubble mailers, and not in plain white envelopes. Jenny says, I don't use cardboard either. 9-pocket page cut in 3 cards in each slot fits perfect. It does. Jenny sent me some that way. They arrived perfect. That's my thoughts on eBay auctions and eBay shipping. Tomorrow, I want to touch on my strategies with my quarter boxes and just streamlining. And I think I'm going to, and this was mentioned on Dr. Beckett's. I was listening to a bunch of Dr. Beckett's recent podcast this morning, and there was something brought up about sorting. I think he was talking about Burbank sports cards. So it kind of gave me an idea of sorting before listing, as opposed to listing and then sorting. So I'm going to try that out actually here as I sign off, and do some sorting before I list. I also want to talk about my success with digging out of my own stale quarter boxes, and the success I had this week, already this week, with listing in my store. Diego, what's up? Came in late, but wanted to wish everyone a great day. You as well. One last thing I wanted to touch on, and George, I think you also mentioned this, was Project 70. I think I saw you tweet. Actually, no, you talked about it on your hobby drive. By the way, I watched quite a few quick hitters. Diego, I watched one of yours this morning. George, I watched your hobby drive. Ken, I watched your Dallas review. I didn't comment. I don't always comment when I watch the videos, but I do want to let you know that I did watch those. DR came in late too. Have a great day. You as well. Project 70. I don't know what the hell's going on with Project 70. There was no cards yesterday. There's been days where there's only been 2, and that's been like more common. It's almost like Topps is like giving up on it. I don't know what's going on. I still like Project 70. I still buy that pop up. There haven't been too many. It's actually been perfect for me because I have much money on them. So I'm if I was a Yankees collector, I would not be a fan of the project, nor would I be collecting all of them. I would start cherry picking. But the Cubs I was kind of ticked off that the Cubs didn't get a card until like card 112 or whatever, when the Ernie Banks, and then they had Clark the Cub. I don't like Clark the Cub on the card, but there was a later Ernie Banks that was perfect. Loved it. I have missed 2. I missed the Dizzy Dean, forgot about it. So I will probably at some point go back and buy those on eBay. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Project 70. It's crazy. Bo, who is your favorite Cubs manager? Don Zimmer. Don Zimmer, just because that's when I first started watching the Cubs. He was the man, the Boys of Zimmer. I have a Boys of Zimmer t-shirt. Don Zimmer, that '89 team, that was like my first year really into baseball and baseball cards. So definitely Don Zimmer. And then I've got to give honorable mention to Joe Madden because he did win the Cubs a World Series. I, I didn't really agree with some of the strategies he employed, especially in that World Series, but the Cubs won, and that's all that matters. Trophy, and Joe Madden was the manager, so he's honorable mention. But Don Zimmer, just nostalgia. Um, he's my favorite. Diego's cool. Thanks. You don't have to worry about comments. I always try to just to say hi or whatever. Sometimes it's as simple as just quoting George's intro lyrics in the comment section. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great Tuesday. And World at War for Life 1, I decided with Project 70 to only do Aaron Judge cards and any Lauren Taylor designs. That's good. Some are doing player collections, some are doing team collections, some are doing artist collections. I think Herman's doing the Blake Jameson collection. That's the fun part. Like, you don't have to be, especially the way the hobby is 2021. Like, you can't have a complete collection. Like, I will never ever ever own all of the Cubs cards. In 1984 it was possible, but today it's not, with all the one of ones and all of that. It's impossible. So I hate when people crap on the project because they don't like it. And just enjoy it. Like, it's art. It One card hate, but another person loves, and that's what art is all about. So I enjoy it for what it is. Jenny's in the election. Um, I was doing the not Project 2020 collection. Although I did end up getting a couple cards, and now they're just, I think I have a couple on eBay actually. But I digress. So have a great Tuesday, and we'll be back at it tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great one.